Hello, everyone. Welcome to Clean Greens Living Live, broadcasted live here on Rainier Avenue Radio. It is your host, Queen Bri, and I have special co-host with me here today, students from Lakeside Middle School. So if we could bring them on because they will be our special co-host today. They will be bringing. Uh, Hi, guys. They will
Hey.
be. They're going to be bringing in our land acknowledgement. We're having a little technical difficulties today, but you know what? That's okay because we're going to get this started. We're going to keep this going. So, who's bringing our land acknowledgement?
We have Otto. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hello. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional land of the first people of Seattle, the Coast Salish past and present, and honor with gratitude in the land itself, and of the Duwamish, Suquamish, Nisqually, Snoqualmie, and Muckleshoot tribes. We also acknowledge what has happened on this land to impact the lives of the Black community in Seattle due to redlining. The systematically oppressive mechanism of anti-Black racism enacted by the white leaders, politicians, business people, and other broad Black families of the opportunity to build and pass down generational wealth. To share your own story of home or land loss in the central area of Seattle, please contact us here at Clean Greens on behalf of the Black Dollar Day Task Force and County Reparations Project.
You're hired. Thank you for that. And I'm going to bring the announcements for you guys, and we're going to make it real quick. We have our CSAs that are now open. Buy a CSA, you feed a family. Please visit our website at www.cleangreensfarmmarket.com. Again, CSAs is live and open. Please hurry up and grab your share before they run out. We have 3 different options. We have single, we have small family, we have large family. Singles feeds about 1 to 2 people, small feeds about 2 to 4 people, large feeds about 3 to 6 people. And the way our shares are, you're going to get enough to feed your family. Also, our youth program, we are now up and running. If you guys have youth between the ages of 5 and 18 who want to be a part of our program, please send them our way. You can contact me via the website, or you can email me at blackdollarcleangreens@gmail.com. Also, I've been talking about this for a while. We are finally getting our Amy Yee Garden site ready, and we need your help. We have 3 different work days that we need people to volunteer. April 8th and April 15th will be a little bit heavy lifting. We are setting that foundation to be able to plant. April 22nd on Earth Day. You guys hear me? Earth Day is April 22nd. We will be planting in the garden, and we need you. We want you guys to come out and work with us. So please contact me via the website or contact me via email. I cannot wait to hear from you guys. I can't wait to get out in that garden and start planting and watching it bloom. All right, my co-hosts are here. They are ready. You guys are so ready to interview and ask these questions. They are working with Clean Greens. They are going to help us with a special project. They are here to interview me about Clean Greens so people who don't know about Clean Greens can learn through the lens of our Lakeside Middle School. Guys, are you ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Listen, I need you guys to do me a favor before you guys start these questions. Just 1 minute. Can you guys stand up real quick?
Get on the screen if you can.
Huh?
Oh. No.
Just give me a little wiggle. Just give me a little, just wiggle. Just move. Let's get this energy going. Let's wiggle a little bit. Let's not take ourselves so seriously, guys. I know you're a little nervous, but let's bring some energy. Did that work for you guys?
Yes, that works.
Let's go.
We're ready.
We're ready.
We can have Otto, you can come over here and ask the questions so that.
Hello, our first question for you is, Like, tell us about yourself and your organization. Who are you and what do you do?
My name is Breon Scott, and I am the Clean Greens Director. Clean Greens is a small nonprofit farm located in Seattle. We grow produce in Duval and we bring it back to the city to hand out to our CSAs and to our community who does not have access to fresh organic vegetables. Clean Greens was created in 2015 to bring awareness to the African American families who, one, didn't have access to affordable fresh organic, and two, who didn't know about eating fresh and organic and what does that do for our body. So Clean Greens mission was to bring that produce to our community, share with them at an affordable price, and educate them on how eating clean organic produce works well for your body.
Great, thank you. Let's go with question number 2. Perfect.
Our second question is, how can we help you and what does Clean Greens need?
How can you guys help me? Now, first of all, you guys are helping me now because I was low energy. And once I seen these beautiful faces of the youth, I got so excited. Things that Clean Greens need is help. We need volunteers. We need the people to come out here and help us plant, help us weed. We need people to spread the word about all the great things that are going on with Clean Greens. And if you're listening and you have the time, we need people to help us deliver some of the produce because Clean Greens does want to deliver produce to people who cannot come and pick up their fresh organic produce. So we really would like to build our community a little bit stronger. Thank you for that question.
We hear that you need volunteers for Earth Day. Can you tell us more about that and what would you like to hear from your volunteers?
Yes, yes. So Earth Day is coming up, and we have been talking about this Amy Yee Garden for almost a year, I think. And so we need volunteers that are going to come. We wanted to do a little party, a little soft grand opening. So we want our volunteers to come. They will be helping us plant in the garden. So whatever the volunteers come and plant, they will be able to come back and see it grow. And also they'll be able to eat from that garden. So that's something exciting. But Earth Day, we're going to make it a day about the garden and about the earth. So any volunteers that's coming, we will be planting, gardening, and be earth centered and focused because guess what, guys? Climate is changing. And how can we make effective changes to stop as much as we can, stop it as much as we can? So those are things that we'll be focusing on that day. Of course, there will be food and snacks, or snacks. Let me say snacks, not food.
Mhm.
All right.
What are some challenges that you have faced or expect to face?
Some challenges we have faced and expect to face. Our area is changing rapidly due to what gentrification. Have you guys heard about gentrification? Who, raise your hand if you heard about gentrification. Raise them high. I can't see those little hands. So our community is changing. So some of our challenges are our audience is missing. How do we get to that audience? And how do we bring awareness to our new neighbors that don't know about gentrification, who don't know about people having lack of access to produce? So bringing that awareness and finding our audience is some of the challenges. Volunteering, people needing volunteers out on a farm is a challenge. Um, Being farmers of color is a challenge because a lot of our farmers here in Seattle don't own their own land. So those are some challenges that we face. Finding ways to be able to be productive and not necessarily have our own land.
Great. So,
Daniel said we're going to have smacks for Earth Day, snacks and meals. Okay, sorry.
Hi, Ms. Bree. I'm Zuri. Could you describe what a day working or volunteering there would be like?
Yes, so a day working and volunteering, depending on which area we're going to be in, they're all the same where we will be. You'll get there, wear muddy, be prepared to get dirty, be prepared to get your hands dirty. If you're out on a farm, you're going to be prepared to see animals not on the farm, but like around you in your surroundings. So there's horses out there, there's cows out there, um, fresh air. You will be helping us plant. So there will be some digging, and then you will be putting the produce in the ground. There will be some weeding. There'll be laughs. There may be some singing. There may be some dancing, um, and you may see a garden snake. Can't confirm or deny that I've seen one out there. I've seen something slither away, but you know what? I'm still there, and I do not care for snakes, so it's not that bad. But I just wanted you guys, talk about being prepared. Also, to add, our volunteers that come out there when they're helping us harvest, they, oh my God, Daniel, if you do that one more time, our volunteers out there, they can take home fresh produce right off the farm. How many guys have ever heard of the term farm to table? Oh, we got some work to do, guys. I'm about to come out there and give you guys a little class. So farm to table, you get to see where your produce comes from. You get to pick it yourself, and you get to go home and take it and cook it fresh and feed it to your family after you wash it, of course.
How do you deliver the food to people who need it?
So we have a small van, and we have volunteers who takes the produce to those families.
I have a question real quick, Bri, regarding the vegetables. And when I think of vegetables, I think of the springtime and summertime. But in the wintertime, what do people have? Is there anything in the garden?
So good question. We haven't planted towards the winter this year. We are going to plant towards the winter. We're going to plant through the winter. And through the winter, I know that the greens and the kales have survived. Some winter squash, some winter salads, and I'm not quite sure what else will last through the winter, but we are going to find out. So stay tuned. We have not been typically a winter farm, but this year we plan to go throughout the winter.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
So how do you get support, for example, funds for your organization?
So for our organization, we have been over the past few years being able to get funding from our city and from our county. We also do accept donations. A lot of our funding comes from donations, CSAs, and some city fundings. And then we have harvest dinners, and then we have grand openings, and we reach out to smaller places to see if they can give us funding.
How do you get volunteers, and how many do you get every year?
We get volunteers by word of mouth, using our show. People who know about Clean Greens love our mission, and so they get connected there. Every time we go out there, we have at least about 8 volunteers, and if not, there's about a handful of staff on hand. But yeah, we get about, I want to say, a year, maybe about 20 volunteers throughout the whole season. If you guys are just tuning in, you are tuning into Clean Greens Living Live, broadcasted on Rainier Avenue Radio. I am your host, Queen Bri, and today I have my co-host with me here today from Lakeside Middle School. Sorry, they are not elementary no more. They grown. Middle schoolers, they are here, and they are interviewing Clean Greens about all the fun things that we do here. All right, guys, we can do the next question. Sorry, I just have to do that little intro every now and then so people can remember what they're watching and what radio they're watching it on.
What happens if there's not enough food for everyone?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
What happens if there's not enough food for everyone?
Lucky for us, Clean Greens has not had that issue. Well, we've had that issue where there's not enough certain amount of produce. When there's not enough certain amount of produce, like we always have an abundance of like greens, kale, but sometimes we run out of cabbage. There's other farmers that we work with out in Duval that we all buy from, trade from, and share with. And that's how we supplement when we run out of certain foods.
Okay?
Um,
Super loud.
do you only work for people in Duval?
Well, our we don't discriminate against people in Duval, but we come back to the city. So everything that we do was in the city of Seattle, South Seattle, Central Seattle. We have done some stuff in North Seattle, and as gentrification keeps happening, we have been moving further out south. We just grow the produce from Duval because it's in a farming area, and that means that the land and the produce is more cleaner than it is towards the city. When you're learning how to garden or when you're growing on a farm, you want to make sure that your soil is as pure as you can. As climate changes and as time changes, we can't always assure that always happens 100%. But out in Duval, you're going to get better air quality and better soil quality. So we grow in Duval, but we bring it back to Seattle.
How do you make sure that lower income people can access these organic vegetables?
How do we make sure? Word of mouth. The things that we do, we make sure that the areas that we know that have low income families, we contact people, we send out flyers. People we know, we let them know. We don't make it hard. I know you guys may be too young for this, but a lot of the times when families are low income, they have to jump through a lot of hoops to get just the smallest services, right? Here at Clean Greens, we take away that barrier. So if anybody is low income, and it's not, low income looks different for everybody. Some people think low income and they think someone who is houseless, but low income looks like me as well, right? So people can come up to us and they don't have to explain their story. They don't have to tell us anything. They just say, I need fresh organic produce and I can't afford it, and we give it to them.
I was just wondering, like, why or what caused you to start this foundation?
You know, in our African American culture, high blood pressure, diabetes, a lot of health problems happen in our culture because we weren't always granted the access of learning about how to eat organic produce. Um, the produce was too expensive, and a lot of people who come from low income, they always have to choose to feed their family in bulk as to feed their family fresh foods, because we know fresh foods is more expensive than, let's say, a box of macaroni and cheese, right? So our organization started so that we can make sure that all families, people of color, low income families, have access to education on eating fresh foods and how that affects their body. We wanted to make sure that we learned about health, diabetes, heart disease, cholesterol levels. We wanted to make sure that not only were we learning about it, but we were eating the right foods. I know for me, I'm learning all the different, I'll call them exotic, because growing up, I grew up with a low income family. I didn't see a Romanesco, um, broccoli in my store. And if I did, it was beaten up. How many of you guys have walked in a store in different neighborhoods and you've seen the quality of the produce? Have you guys ever noticed that when you walked in the store? How in some areas the quality looks really beautiful and fresh, just ready to, you just want to grab that apple and eat it. And then you walked in another store and you're like, ew, what is this? So we wanted to take that away and provide fresh, beautiful produce for all. That's a Romanesco broccoli. That is so beautiful. I never seen that growing up. But at Clean Greens, we create different fruits. I mean, not fruits, vegetables for families to get education on. And I say fruit. Soon we will be having some small fruits because we wanted to add fruits to the mix coming soon. So you guys stay tuned. Can't talk right now. These are some good questions, guys.
Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
how long is a typical day for volunteers?
for a typical day for volunteers is about 4 hours. We don't keep people long unless they want to be kept. So typically we'll get there at 10 and then we'll work 11, 12, 1 to 2, one between 1 and 2. And if it's a harvest day, we work until we have what we need to get harvest, which is typically within that same time frame.
What do you do to farm sustainably?
I'm sorry, you said what?
What did you do to farm sustainably? Like,
Sustainably, how do
Oh,
you?
what do we do?
Yeah.
Okay, I get what you're saying. We make sure that we are growing organically. We make sure that we use earth-friendly products when we are treating bugs. Like one year we had a oh gosh, a flea beetle infestation on our greens. And so we use natural oils to get rid of it. And we looked into different things. So we make sure that we are using earth friendly products. Um, Even when we give out our CSA, there was a point in time when we were using plastic bags. We went to paper bags so that you can recycle. And then someone else also said you can use paper bags for compost. So we just do random different things to make sure that we are staying sustainable. Yeah, look at those flea bugs. They look kind of cute right there, but they are just vicious.
Where do you find the plots for farming?
Where do we find the plots for farming? I wasn't here when the farm was first found, so I can't answer that, but I can answer the two city spots that we have. We literally reached out to the city for assistance to get volunteers, but they's like, we don't have that program anymore. But what we do have is some land for you to use if you want it. And so we've been working with them. They gave us the South Shore land as temporary until the land that they promised us was ready. But we did so good in the South Shore land that they said if we wanted to stick around, we could stick around. So we're using that one for our youth program, and we're also going to use this urban garden for our youth program as well, and for the community. So community members who want to learn about farming, learn about growing their own produce and starting a garden in their home, they will be able to come to our gardens in the city and learn all about that. And you guys as well, if you're interested.
How do you provide your resources among food banks and communities?
About around food banks and communities.
How do you provide your resources among food banks and communities?
We like I said before, we reach out. We see that we have an abundance, so we reach out to different organizations to see if they can take the produce, and then we drop it off ourselves.
what do you think would help spread awareness about this organization?
What do I think will help help awareness? I think what we're doing right now is helping spread awareness. You guys are doing a good job with your questions. You're here, you're listening. You can go back and you talk to your friends and you talk to your family about what you learned. They go talk to their friends. I think social media, I think our website, I think, us actually being in the community doing the work and people seeing us, that helps spread the awareness. But always when you learn something, you talk about it to people, and that helps as well. And unfortunately, that's the last question I could take, guys. But if you can tell me the questions that didn't get answered, I can answer them for you and then and get back to you. Um, Karen, who works with us, says, "Hi, Lakeside Middle School students. It's nice to see and hear your interest in clean greens. She loves your great questions and thank you, your teachers, for encouraging this connection. And take care." So we really appreciate you guys even taking the time out of your busy schedule to hear from us, to want to work with us, and to help us find a way to spread the goodness of what we're doing here at Clean Greens. So I can't wait to formally meet you guys in person. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for watching Clean Greens Living Live, broadcasted live on Rainier Avenue Radio. Bye.
Thank you.